starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
On the show and saying, man, I don't even remember what happened. I had a couple drinks that night. Like, now you're putting yourself in position to have been guilty. Like, because if you don't remember, you can't even say, nah, that didn't happen. Like, you don't remember.
It better not be another cry wolf. Because I don't want to downplay the things that, you know, some women actually go through, women and men, that people go through when incidents are actually happening. But it's when people are taking advantage of it and they're now numbing us to what's going on.
Players that are relative to the NFL have had with domestic violence and issues with women, you know, physical abuse and things like that. So them erring on the side of caution, I call it fair. And him going on TV and saying he don't remember is foul.
If you're now taking advantage of it, you know, when somebody else cries, that's going to numb me even more. Like, you know, are you just trying to take advantage? You trying to get some money? Like, what you know, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm up to it.
Oh, we
with it.
Oh, we
going there.
Okay.
I'm up to it.
We live. Hey, we live.
That's the show, Dada.
But young man, are we almost done? Oh yes, sir, Dr. King. Yeah, you can check it out right now. All right, I hope you got me looking fresh in the... Boy, what the hell is this? It look good, right? I know this nigga didn't just push my shit back. Push back? Man, hell nah, Dr. King, you know you came in here like that. If anything, I tried to line it up because one side was lower than the other. My shit is further back than a black man on the city bus. Hey, that's offensive. I think you gonna have to shoot me the fade. The King, a fade is $5 more. You said you wanted to even all around. You should have told me you wanted a fade in the first place. You know what? Your barber shop is now boycotted, nigga. This shit is over. Hey, wait a minute, Dr. King. You can't boycott black business? I'm black owned. You black owned and now you're black gone. King, I think you just trying not to pay. Got my damn hairline rising up like the South. Why would I pay?
It feels good to be the king. Super Bowl champs again, baby. Hey. What the hell, dude? Don't sneak up on me like that. Sorry, I'm like really good at sneaking. How you feeling? I mean, nothing beats the high of winning the Super Bowl. I feel on top of the world right now. You sure that high isn't from the painkiller cocktail your team shoved down your throat at halftime? It might be. Yeah, I'm not surprised you guys went crazy in the second half. You were on so much Toradol you could probably see our thoughts. Whatever, man. We're still the champs. When the hell did you get on the Chiefs? Honestly, I don't remember. Melvin Gordon is a Super Bowl champion and I'm not. That's great. All because this dude had to insert himself right at the end of the game. Okay, you know that wasn't the only factor. Plus, your boy Bradbury admitted himself it was a hole. Yeah, and the inventor of the GIF says it's pronounced GIF, but no one calls it that unless they want attention. Just because he was involved in the play doesn't mean he's right. Just such a soft way to end a Super Bowl. I need to take a walk. What the hell? Oh yeah, they just installed new floors in here. They spent $800,000 on state-of-the-art technology to make it the ideal walking surface that no one should ever complain about. Okay, well it f***ing sucks. It sure does. Anyway, congrats on the Super Bowl, boys, but I hope you realize you're the ultimate villains now. You're the new Patriots. What? No, we're not. Yeah, dude, don't be ridiculous. You sure about that?
Happy Friday, fellas. You gotta take care of your skin, and Gardeners Gardens getting this out the way. I start off with their facial cleanser, put it on, let it sit for a little bit and rinse it off. It's no problem at all. I'm gonna follow that up with the foaming black soap, and like a selfish man, 3 to 4 pumps is all you need to get it out the way. Next step for me is their facial toner. Helps get rid of all that dead skin that you may have. It's nice and easy. And then after that is the black castor oil. It's got a nice smell to it. Helps the skin stay nice and hydrated, but that shine won't last too long like a Diddy signed artist. After that is the beard oil. Got to make sure it's nice and moisturized. Give it a little comb through so it's marinated all over the place. You see all the products that they have, including the ones in the back, all natural. Check it out.
This lemonade is nasty.
What?
Boycott.
Wait a minute, you drank 2 cups. You need to pay.
No,
Oh man, you gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it, man. All fun stuff. We got a little bit of feedback in the background. Just a little bit. I think that's the speaker. One of y'all speaking. They're gonna hear me twice. They're gonna be hearing me twice. That's right. You're gonna deal with me 2 times.
Twice as nice.
Twice as nice, man. We had to do it again on Friday night. Welcome back with your Friday Night Delights. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Assuming we can still call you that. We are back for another Friday night of shenanigans, another night of truthfulness, another night of transparency, another night where we try not to get ourselves too drunk and too canceled. Welcome again to the most organic conversation on the internet. Welcome to Up to It, Down to It. We appreciate you guys being here with us. Thank you. Round of applause for every single one of you. So we got a lot to get into today, okay? A lot of stuff is going down in the last week. We got a wide range of stuff to talk about, man. First of all, we got the Super Bowl. We're going to be talking about that. A little bit of highlights and lowlights from that. We're going to talk in our Fair or Foul segment. We're going to get into a subject we joked about last week with the young man being fined for saying no homo. Don't worry, we're going to talk about that. All right. We're going to look into some double life, people living double lives, what happens when that happens and how social media reacts to it. We're going to talk about biblical manliness, part 3 of our How to Be a Good Husband. And finally, we also are going to talk about an employee that got fired for not cheating on their spouse. Fired for not cheating on their spouse. You heard me right. I didn't make that up. I'm not that clever. I can't make these kinds of things up. So we got a lot to talk about today. So let's get y'all cups in the air, baby, and get ready.
I need a cup just for that last one.
Hey, I'm down. We gonna take a shot for that one because when I saw that title, I said, "What?" So I'm gonna take one. We already 1 shot in. We're not even 10 minutes in the game. Gotta love it. With that being said, listen, man, let's get, again, thank y'all for joining us. Y'all that don't know me, I am the great and terrible Trey, as you see right there. You'll find out why as the show goes on. I ain't gonna say no much more about me. We're gonna kick that over to my left, and you're right on the screen. My man's the immovable force. Kev, holla at us, brother. What's good, my man?
I'm down on y'all screen, so I wasn't prepared. I don't know. Whatever. All right, what's happening, everybody? Glad to be in the building one more time. Happy Friday. Cheers to the weekend. Hope everybody's week was fantastic. Your Valentine's, your side chick day, whatever day you celebrated. I hope that thing worked out for you. We're gonna be drinking good tonight, as always. I know y'all sick of the rum and cokes, so whatever. I ain't changing. I just switched up the rum, so it's gonna be Bacardi and Coke tonight. This just happened to be in the mixed pre-show, so I got to finish my Yingling. It's one of the cheaper beers that I actually enjoy, so you ain't got to spend too much to get that enjoyment in. But we just took a shot, and it was the Claude VSOP, and I haven't drunk this in a while. I know bottle's getting low, but I hadn't drunk it in a while. I forgot how good that was. So shout to the VSOP tonight. Get a good drink in your hands, even if it's a bottle of water, as long as it's not Aquafina, we won't have no issues. But everybody drink good tonight. Raise your glasses in the air. Let's have a good time. Dang it, Trey. Dang it, Trey. Dang it, Trey. Dang it, Trey.
No, that's crazy.
He's muted. Nope, he's muted.
Well, Yeah, y'all know what that means. And technical
Come on.
difficulties. You got to take another one. So, but anyway, no, big facts, man. And Aquafina is big trash. That's what I was saying while I was muted. Aquafina is big trash. All right, man. Look, down bottom, y'all gonna get a 2-for-1 right there. We got the Kang and the Kamikaze in one space, in one place. Fellas, what's good?
What up? What up? What up? The brothers in the building. It's your man King Rich. What's going on, everybody? I hope you are fine like wine and getting better with time. I just have one thing to share with you guys, and it's from my usual text messages that I get on Fridays. It says abundance. Abundance is not simply a status; it is a mentality. Think abundantly, and you will live abundantly. Scarcity is not your destiny. So yeah, man. I mean that's straightforward right there. Live in abundance and keep it going.
Indeed, indeed. And what it is, people, it's good to see y'all another week. What it is, it's your boy, the Kamikaze, in the building. One more again. Look, we had technical difficulties this last week. So this time, this jerk is for last week. Good to be back. Good to be with the fam. And thank y'all for rolling and rocking with us, following us, subscribing. Man, we love y'all for that. Let's get into this good old show.
Let's get it to
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love it, man. And yes, take a second, if you have not already, to like and subscribe for your boys. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then tell your friends to pull up too, man. What we say, tell a friend to tell a friend, right?
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
And Randy, I'm taking this note down because I'm always down to try new things. Blue Chair, Bay, vanilla, and I feel like you can never go wrong with vanilla. You know, as a flavor, as a scent. You know, vanilla's just it's all right. It's all right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Randy, what's going on, man? The marriage coach is in the building, man. Listen, I'm looking forward to having him on board and having him share some of his pearls of wisdom as well, man. Got a wealth of knowledge. He's a marriage coach as well, so I know he's gonna like what we're talking about today, for sure. Yes. Liz, what's good? Welcome back.
Glad you're awake.
Alfonso. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Squad. Cool, man. Well, look, let's get right down to it, man. We had a lot that went on this week. Let's start off, I guess, with the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Because let's be real, man. We had a little bit of everything. We had the pregame festivities with a beautiful rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing. If you ask me, that was incredible. Star Spangled Banner was great. America the Beautiful was great. The game was great. The halftime show was great. The finish, depends on who you were cheering for. But I think it was overall great, man. You know,
it really
what
was.
Y'all think, man? What's y'all thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Great time had by all, and I'm always of the ilk that we're going to give, praises where praises are due, but I just, want to tell the haters to sit down and shut up. Rihanna's big pregnant. And so, whatever expectations you had for her to do what she did, suspended 150 feet in the air, you know what I'm saying? Still, sang, and I mean, she sounded good. And if you follow Rihanna's career, there were some questionable performances for some time. She sounded like good. So I thought it was an incredible show, and shame on the people who wasn't feeling it because she wasn't moving enough and whatever. I challenge you to carry a human on the inside of you and still do the things that she did that night.
Perform at that caliber,
right?
At that level.
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane. Like, I had a feeling that since she was pregnant. I had a feeling, only because of her movements, things of that nature. She wasn't but at the same time, even if she wasn't pregnant, I still wouldn't have been mad because I still felt like she was queen out there. She was doing her thing. Like, it was real. Like, it was still captivating. Like, the whole show was still captivating, even if she wasn't pregnant. Like, I loved every moment of it. Actually, I'm glad I haven't been on social media like that because I haven't even seen this slander that has been going on. So I'm glad I'm not on social media like that because I would have been pissed. but I did hear from you guys now, right? And I thought I heard something flipping through. Even Shaq was cussing some people out. But I haven't seen the slander myself personally. I just heard that it was out there. But she did a phenomenal job.
Shout out
to those. Actually, I think she had more views than the actual Super Bowl itself.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
And honestly, for those haters that were hating on Rihanna for that performance, man, suck your mother. Because I'm like, you be pregnant and you get up there and have a high level performance. Not only just singing, but you notice like her platform moved as well as the dancers. So, bro, and she did it with no safety harness.
A dancer almost fell.
Yeah, no, straight up almost fell.
Yeah.
And recovered did it with no safety harness with ease, bro.
Yeah.
Look, man, she handled that level of Super Smash Brothers like a star, right? Because it did look like
you know what? I appreciate those people that gave the lighthearted humor, because the entire performance, when they zoomed out and showed all the platforms, I was like, yo, this is Smash Brothers at Superbowl.
Smash Brothers,
probably why I liked it even more.
And shout out the product placement, because she definitely put the Fenty Beauty on right in the middle of the performance, you know, and then from what I understand, all of her dancers were in like the lingerie or, you know, whatever her like line of like, you know, sexy nightwear and all of that. So, you know, the product is out there, was she already worth a B just based off of her products, not even the music. So again, Rihanna did what she was supposed to do. It said in the comments, and I agree, Chris Stapleton, which I couldn't believe people didn't know who he was, but Chris Stapleton, not only did he sing, but that man played. So, yeah, I would say the only negative is the commercials. The commercials, they ain't do what they
wasn't hitting it. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
With the one where my channel changed, like right in the middle, I was like, "Yo, what?"
It got me too. I'm not gonna lie, it got me at first. It definitely did get me at.
Wait a minute. Did my TV just change?
Yeah,
especially because I have a young child, and he just never rolling around, and even in his sleep, he just be rolling around. I just, come on, man. What? Look around, like, what? You know. But hey, look, man, we gave some props to the musicians. Some the players out there, like I think they said that punt, if he would have, what's his name, Kadarius Toney, if he would have scored that touchdown on that punt return, that'd have been, you know, record for an actual, you know, the only punt return in Super Bowl history.
Yeah,
right. So
he does have the record for the longest return, though.
Right, right. So he's got that record. And how about you know, give Jalen Hurts some credit for rushing 3 touchdowns? Like, what? Talk about putting the team on the ground and getting it done on your feet. Like,
300 yards in the air, 70 yards on the ground. That's a bad boy.
Jalen Hurts played his ass off. He played his ass off, man. And honestly, some of those throws he made were like incredibly accurate. Like, obviously, I put money on the Chiefs, as I've been saying the last 2 weeks, right? But
I should have.
You got to give credit where it's due, man. Like, that dude was all over the field, man. Some of those passes, like, they were long distance passes. You showed us, there was a few of them there in the highlights, but some of those passes were like scary accurate. And this kid is what, 23, 24? He's got a long way to go, man. The NFC is going to have to contend with that young man for years to come, and that's going to be a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I felt like the Eagles had the fight, but I honestly, with Mahomes and then Andy Reid, I just couldn't count out Andy Reid's coaching.
Yep.
I could not. So I was like, yo, I got to put money on the Eagles.
And Eric
got into his bag of tricks, man. He got into his bag of tricks in the second half. Yeah, Eric Bieniemy too. Yeah.
Who is now the offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. And I absolutely hope that he takes our offense where it needs to go. And not even because I'm a Commanders fan. I actually can't wait for Bieniemy to get the credit that he's due so he can get a head coaching job. Because
he's deserved one for a while.
He definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
But also because we're Commander fans, right?
But also because,
All right. All right, Commanders. Over under 9 wins next season. Over under. Early prediction. Over
Come
9.
on, man.
Okay.
The only thing we got to shore up is the quarterback. Everything else has been solid, so I'm gonna take the over.
What y'all gonna do about that quarterback though?
Even if we work with the third string, we got time now, and you got an offensive coordinator. So it's always put you in your best position to be successful. Don't turn the ball over. Take advantage of the things in front of you. So I think we're poised. So I mean when I say over, I'm thinking 10 wins. But I would definitely
over.
count on. Yeah, but I can live with that though. Yeah, 10 or 11. That's it for me.
What you think, LB? Over 9? How many over 9?
We'll see when the schedule comes out, but we're definitely going to be over 500. I tell you that.
Okay.
Definitely.
I like with the 17-game season, you either over 500 or under 500. There is no 500. There is no at 500. You're either over or under. So I do like that. And honestly, unless you tie, I guess. And who ties? That's worse than losing. It's worse than losing.
Like 8-1. You should still be a loser.
Yeah, basically. You one thing's for sure is you didn't win. So
yeah.
I still don't understand it.
Not sure about that. Over. I was gonna say, for y'all to get 10 wins, Philly's still gonna be there. Dallas ain't no joke. And
He beat
New York
Philly
for at least
still.
half the season, and yeah. I mean, yeah.
Before the playoffs, we were the only team that beat Philly.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, and I honestly think the Giants overperformed.
They always do, even the years they win the Super Bowl.
And Dallas has to. Yeah. Dallas is more than likely going to have to give up a running back because Pollard needs to be paid and Zeke needs to be sold. They're going to have to figure something out.
I don't have them having the same year, or even a good year. Period.
I feel like Dallas always has the same kind of year. It's always the
good regular season.
Yeah, be 7-2 and then have a lot of promise and finish 9-7, or I guess 9-8 now, and and then first round we out. It's been the case for the last 25 years. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Shout out to the Cowboys fans out here. All right, let's move on. Great Super Bowl. Shout out to anybody that put some money up and made some money. That might be a thing next season. We'll, stay tuned. That might be a thing we go through next season. Picking games because some of us cleaned up too. I ain't gonna lie. I was one pick in that single game parlay. I was one pick. I would have turned like $3 into like 2 racks. One pick away.
That always sucks.
I'm sad. I need a drink now.
That is also depressing.
Let's go ahead and move into some fair foul so we can drink.
I called the Chiefs winning, and I didn't even place that bet.
You didn't place that bet?
Crazy. Where I won money was on Jalen Hurts' first touchdown, and which I'm actually surprised it went that way, and on Pat Mahomes being an MVP. Those were my 2 money making spots. Yeah. I wish I'd have called the first results because I actually got that right too with Philly with a touchdown and the Chiefs with a touchdown, and because I also picked Travis Kelce, I just put it in the wrong bet. So I could have won a ton of money if I'd have just done that a little differently.
Yep.
Now I see how people get addicted to gambling.
This is how you get addicted to gambling. This is exactly how. All right. I need a drink. Y'all need a drink.
Y'all ain't been drinking the whole time? Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been drinking. Absolutely been drinking the whole time. Let's get into fair or foul so that people can drink with us. Let's go.
Because you got guys were lacking that?
I seen it, but I was like, man, he's just talking for the last. We already had good-looking dudes, no homo. But you know how it go.
All right. I'm sure the legal office will enjoy that one.
Let's go. Oh man,
I'm drinking in that, man.
Yeah, I just want y'all to understand that backstage is funnier.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We're so glad y'all here with us. You know.
Anyway, where's my drink? Where's my up to it, down to it? Those that don't do it, we do it because we used to it. Yeah, here we go.
VSOP is beautiful thing. So I like to take shots. Listen, as soon as he said no homo, I already knew. And the dude interviewing him was like, "Yeah, I think the league office is gonna have some fun with that."
Yeah, he knew too. Yeah.
You gotta know that the NBA, and I ain't even mad at it. They protect the alphabet boys like nobody's business. So, you know, as soon as he said it, I knew it was gonna be wild. However, like, you know, the NBA being a predominantly black playered sport, even though it's getting real international, but it's still predominantly black. I feel like there are points where you got to understand culture, and this is one of the places where like culture would have been important. If it ain't no homo, it's pause, and all of that exists, you know, in our culture, particularly with black men. So like, I think, you know, before the fine, there should have been a conversation. Like, you know, again, I understand the colloquialisms, but this ain't it, you know, even if there was a training associated with it, but I knew they was going to hit them with the fine right away, and they did. It ain't, you know, it ain't bothering me. And for what it's worth, the comments that I've seen from the LGBTQIA plus community, they ain't even bothered by it and understand that it's a cultural, colloquial thing. So I'm going to call it foul.
What's your thought, LB? Q? What y'all think?
it's foul. You can fine me $30,000 for saying no homo. For saying no homo. I mean,
you ain't talk about nobody mama.
I ain't seen nothing about no mama. Matter of fact, all I did was state that, hey, I'm not gay.
So would it?
I'm sorry. Is gay the correct proper term, or is it something else now? Because I don't want to offend anybody.
Might catch a fine.
I mean, is gay? Is that profanity now? That it? What?
Is it?
Well, maybe we should start saying all hetero. Is that a penalty?
We should start saying all hetero. That's what we should start saying. Say all hetero. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna start using gay for its original. Well, actually, for its meaning, because it still means happy. So,
well, just like I guess we're not supposed to call nobody a bundle of sticks, huh?
I guess not.
Okay.
$30,000.
That's a lot of money.
40,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, 40 racks.
Whatever it is.
That's still too much.
40 racks, big facts.
Big facts.
Yeah, it's foul. I agree. It's foul. Like there's no real justification for that. Like that's we're reaching too far. We're going too far, right? Like we said, they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? They don't even care about something like that. You know, kind of like how they didn't care that the Commanders were once called the Redskins. They didn't really give a crap about that. Somebody told us that they did, but they didn't care about that, right? I'm just saying, like, these are the beginnings of. Let me put it this way. This is what gives ammunition to the fire for people who say this is where censorship and fascism really begins, right? When you start to control and punish speech, which is actually literally unconstitutional, right? It's one thing though if we, riot a speech or speech that actually causes violence, actually starts a riot, actually incites something. I can get down with punishing that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we're down to again, the dude was essentially just saying, I know it might have sounded, what I just said might have sounded suspect, but I didn't mean it that way. That's
Which
basically what he's mean. But I know what I
that's
said sounded
basically it.
suspect, but I don't. That's not what I mean, and I don't go that way.
Drake
No
just
homo.
hung up on a dude because
Yes,
he
he
ain't
did.
like what he said.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Cause what the dude said was suspect, right?
It was
So
suspect.
And he didn't follow it
I'm
up
sure
with a
you gonna
pause
find.
or
Are
If
or
he
we
had
finding
said no
Drake now?
homo, if
Are
he
we
said no
finding?
homo in the beginning, then Drake probably wouldn't have hung up on him. I'm saying, like this is something that we understand. You say something, that's why we have things like pause, because we don't want to be confused. We don't want to be
We just try to
confused.
we just try to let the person, right, the entity or whatever they want to be called, right? We just try to let them know that we
Insert
ain't,
random human being.
we don't we don't go that way or what, like we're trying to let you know.
The problem with just
I
saying
guess we know.
pause
Well,
is
all right.
you don't make it clear what side you're on when you just say pause, because that's still left up to interpretation. You got to make it
no.
clear.
Listen,
So
nope.
we pause
If I hear pause, I ain't never questioning what side you on. Because
Right.
chances are the pause came to me from another man. So I listen, bruh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm on the same boat as you. Pause. Pause.
Yeah, wait a minute. Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But still, you should be able to do that. And I would think with all this talk about, identity, I would think that, identifying as not gay would be okay.
Because
Or
everything's
is that
okay.
not okay? Because was that not okay?
everything's okay, huh?
Everything's
What's
okay.
our next fair foul?
Everything's okay. Yeah, let's put that to bed. Well, this next one is pretty interesting here. Yeah, get y'all glasses ready for this one. Let's just go right to it, man. Yeah, where's my cup at? Where's my cup? We good. Woo! Good sound.
Fuck down. Who do you think you are? Yo, if that was me, I swear to God, in my classroom, and you think yourself, stop instigating. Do you hear me? Over here, running around my classroom, cussing at a girl, trying to fight her. That's what your family does? The minute your family put their hands on women, your dad beat your mom? He started. No, she didn't. She was sitting next to me. She literally shut your mouth. What the? How old are you? 11. 11. Say it again. I'm 11. 11 years old. You are a child.
Man,
Yes. Okay.
man.
Man, what y'all think? Fair or foul? Kev, I saw you started with the slow clap, man. Listen, go ahead, brother. Talk
For
to the people.
for every mountain, hey, come on. But listen, for every teacher everywhere, she did what we be wanting to do all the time. Listen, and there are a lot of instances where I cannot like get with the teacher. But this is one of them cases where I'm like, bruh, that's the student. Because even I feel like even at a point you heard them say like you're in here wilding out. So like there was a lead up to this. So it's not just the what happens in that moment, it's the everything that takes place before it. It's days before, it's weeks before, it's phone calls home that got ignored, emails that you know what I'm saying were never responded to, like warnings that your child be out in these streets wilding out and somebody's gonna knock their head off, and then it actually happens. So, you know, particularly at the high school level, most of the kids are the same size as their teachers or bigger than their teachers, particularly if it's a female teacher. Students be taller than them, bigger than them, you know, faster than them, stronger than them. So nah, you'll shouts out to the teacher and sit down and shut up. Yeah.
What you think, LB?
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Uh-oh.
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Both of
Oh.
y'all, because y'all both behind it.
What you mean?
Dang,
Oh yeah, both of y'all. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I thought me and because I'm used to it being me. Okay.
you right. You right.
All right.
Listen here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Got you.
I'm not
Good.
condoning violence. I'm not condoning, cussing at kids and whatnot. But let's be real. Something did lead up to this, right? This is not just she was, just belligerent and had some type of disorder. Something made her get to that point where she felt like, listen, you're out of control. Get in your seat. Like the whole class. Like I've seen some of these classes. The classroom gets out of control. And let's be real. Cussing at the kids is the least of these words because these kids cuss like sailors. Like, come on. These kids ain't angels. They're not saints. But they go home and probably hear worse than what they hear at school because they bring it to school. You think their parents are not cussing at them, not throwing them around? Come on. Listen, I'm not saying that the teacher was right or wrong. She did what she had to do in that moment. And, I didn't see her lay the kid out or anything like that. So sometimes these kids need, some tough correction. What else are we gonna do? And I'm not saying again, the way that I grew up, I'm saying my principal and my teachers had all authority. So I had to make sure I kept my butt in order because they had the same rights handed down from my mother to correct me if I was, acting out. These kids know that there's no consequence. They can wild out. What they gonna get? Oh, detention. Or what they gonna get? Oh, suspension. Or what they gonna get? Expulsion. What to do? And then what are the parents doing? It seems like the parents are blaming the teachers more than they're actually spending time with their kid to get their kid together.
And that was actually a point I was going to bring up because I give kudos and shout outs to that teacher because I know she's going into that building every day dealing with the product of parents not being present like they should in the school system. Like we've gotten to a point where in 2022, 2023, parents have been relying on the school system as a daycare facility and not a place for their children to get educated. So I give it to her. Like, granted, she did what she had to do to be effective and get control of that room. It could have gotten worse. I've seen it happen firsthand, but I give shout outs to her because she better than me. Because somebody kid would have been wiped up across that floor real quick.
Yeah. Honestly, if you listen to the kids in the background, they aren't exactly acting, like young, respectful, 10 and 11-year-olds. Like, I think the young lady sounded like a young lady that was holding the phone was like, if
Don't
that
you
was
label
me, I
her
swear to God, I
or
would have
him
fight her.
or
No,
him.
I don't want to miss whatever. The little girl, because I think that's still a thing. I think you can still say little girls. The little girl you heard her in the background, like, hey, if that, I swear to God, if that was me, I would have fight her. What? Now listen. All right, I was a kid. I was a stupid kid back in the day. All right, okay. We had people trying to be tough and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. And it was wrong when we did it, and it's wrong when they're doing it, right?
I wasn't fighting Brother John though.
That's
I
what
wasn't
I'm
fighting
saying.
Brother
Like, we
John.
wasn't going to actually go fight him though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Brother Tony, none of them. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't finna actually go fight him, because the thing is, we knew, at least, in those days, we knew that if you fought them, that means they can fight you. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere along the line, some people in our generation got it twisted and got it thinking that you can fight, but they don't have the right to fight you. You can fight them and it's okay, but they're not. They're not supposed to fight you though. And what? How does that work? Okay, let's ask another question. How for the people that say that that's foul, how is a teacher supposed to gain or regain control in their classroom when they have kids that are obviously acting like they grown? Kev, I'll defer to you. What you think? Wait, hold up. Oh, dang.
Okay, that's me. My bad.
Okay, no worries. Talk to the people.
You're back.
I actually throw chairs when my students do well. And the reason I throw chairs, and it never fails. They do well, I throw a chair. They're trying to figure out whether that was good or bad. I need my kids to know I'm a little crazy. So even when it's good, please know that I'll kill everybody in this room. And that we ain't had no issues as a result. So, like, the only way for a teacher to have control of their class is to keep their students guessing about whether or not they'll blow the entire thing up just because y'all are plucking my nerves. Like, that's where the control comes in. Like, I need y'all to know I'm a little crazy. And I tell them, like, I got a 3-year-old to get home to. So, like, even drills. I don't play about drills because please understand, with the way schools are being shot up, if an active shooter comes in and you don't know how to sit down and shut up and run this drill, please understand I'm going to use you as a shield.
Facts.
Because I got a
'Cause
3-year-old.
I'm getting home to mine.
If it's me or you, it's going to be you. I promise.
Yes.
So I'll
say that again. Put it on a shirt.
If that's it. If it's me or you, it's gonna be you. Cause I ain't never about to take that kind of chance. So my drills are run to perfection. Earthquake drill, fire drill, shooter drill, lockdown drill. Like, we run them to perfection. I'm not playing with these kids. And when they do well, I throw chairs.
Facts. Sometimes you got to be like that, because otherwise they become adults, and you got to throw chairs with adults too. Not, I'm just saying. My store wasn't top 100 without a few, little bit pieces of furniture getting thrown around. Anyway,
we got to you being transparent. At least these kids, luckily, they seeing teachers throw chairs because, sad but true, a lot of them going home and getting hands thrown on them.
Yeah, that's fact.
So I mean, sometimes you gotta step out of that zone and put them out that comfort zone and let them know, like, you're that crazy enough that you actually care about them. Because they're not getting it at home, but their parents not being involved.
And there is a fine line. There is a fine line between abuse and discipline. There is a line. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
sometimes you just gotta let your toe scoot over that line sometimes to gain control.
And that's discipline, and that's facts. Put the toe on the line. It's a 2. It's for 2.
Yes,
we gotta move on. We be here all night. Yeah. Good job to the teacher, and she's apparently suspended with pay, so she's on vacation. Well, it's a wellness break, as she should.
Paid vacation.
Paid. I'm with it. Here for it. All right. On to this next one. This right here, you might need 2 shots. This is wild.
For like 10 days. He has a investment property in North Carolina, so he's been working on the house. They've, renovated it, gutted it out, so he was there to like project manage, and I really, really miss him. And so I'm gonna do a pop-up to surprise him. So follow me. All right, guys, I'm about an hour away, and I kind of think that he knows I'm up to something. Because he called me twice, and I was still in the car within the last 2 hours, and I was just like, oh, I just been running errands all day, me and Snow. Say hey, Bubba. Say hey, Snow.
Hey guys, so I'm in Charlotte. I'm with my cousin. Say hey, Day Day. Hey. Who would have believed that I would still be at my cousin's house? So, guess what? Y'all saw my stories. You see my love story panning out on TikTok. Who would have ever thought that I pop up on my boyfriend and his wife answers the door? What? Yeah. He has a whole wife. He's been married. She said they celebrated 7 years. Yeah. And this man's still texting me right now. He couldn't come outside. This woman was like, I was wondering. She said, I was wondering who was born in your phone. She was blaming me, said that I knew. This man has lived a double life. For 5 months we've been together. A double life. This man has pretended to love me and to court me. And we just came back from Vegas. Y'all saw the trip we was laughing and joking about. And I'm so happy that I waited for so many things. And I feel sorry for her because she's stuck with him. I'm gone. But it's just another lesson. But who would ever thought? Why me? I'm in shock. I was so happy. I was popping on the love of supposedly love of my life. Like, be careful out here, women. These men are terrorists. Be careful out here and pray for me, please.
You can talk about those. So. Yeah. So all that.
Yeah, it says you recorded everything, but not pulling up with this, but not the surprise pull up.
Oh man.
Ooh, wouldn't that have been something? I would have wanted to see that.
I would have loved to see the pull up, like the encounter with the wife.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm willing to put money on it. She has it, or at least the beginning, like the up until you say I'm his wife. How can I help you? Like, then she might have cut the camera off. But like, I'm sure there's a portion, at least a portion of that interaction that actually exists. But I wouldn't want to put that out there either. So what's the question to decide fair or foul? Because that's where I'm at. Like
I think we can agree it's foul for him to be living a double life.
Quite foul.
We could say either or fair or foul. Either fair or foul to pull up after they've been together. Was it 5 months? She said. And then some of the comments, it looked like I couldn't find them, but there's apparently some comments where they were like kind of dragging her for real. So,
yes,
those
so
are fair or foul.
Right. So some of the comments I did see, and I'm gonna call that part foul, is that well, why would you feel comfortable pulling up on him after 5 months? Like, and that bothers me because, like she said, they were fresh off of a trip somewhere. So like, if you can travel together, why the hell can't I pop up on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been out of town together. And chances are, if he's a high value man, then he, paid for flights, paid for a hotel, paid for what. I mean, he's clearly got the kind of job that takes him away. So I imagine he makes a decent amount of money. So if he, treated her to this trip, you could pay for me to travel with you and spend time with you, but I can't pop up on you. Like, that's weird energy. Whether you've been together for 5 months or 5 years, like, there should be a space for a woman to pull up on her man if she believes that's her man. And she said they were in a whole relationships, not, what I'm saying, she slept with him one night and they had a whole about last night kind of thing going on. If you in a whole entire relationship, there should never be a point where I can't pull up on you because we're committed to each other, or so she thought.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, if all of that was taking place, like, going on trips and, if they communicated that they were exclusive and they communicated that they were, exclusive. This wasn't just some, date on, just fun type of thing, friends with benefits or whatever it was. If they had a plan, moving forward, if those things were communicated, and again, not giving an excuse if it wasn't. But I'm just saying, and sometimes in our minds, the male and female, right, we can have a preconceived notion of where something is going. But if it wasn't communicated, and if you haven't, dive deep into it and get further into the relationship, and again, his job can pull him away, whatever the case may be, high value man, whatever. But still, like, I'm not giving him a pass. I am going to say that, 5 months, I do still think, because of what, the circumstances, right? They just came off a trip or whatever the case may be. And she's feeling that high and wants to pop up on them thinking that they're exclusive, that it's just them two. Bet. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's fair. The guy is all the way foul. For lying. And if he did, in fact, want it to be, the side chick thing, why not just tell her up front, like, hey, listen, I got a wife over here, but I'm looking for a side chick. I need you to keep things on the hush hush. If that's what he wanted to do, keep it 100, be a G for real. Like, keep it 100 if that's what you want to do. So he's definitely, foul for that. But I don't think she was wrong. I don't think she's wrong for thinking what she was thinking and going up there. I don't think she's wrong at all. So
I gotta side with you on that because that kind of goes along with what I consider implied consent. Because if I'm with you for 5 months, going on a half a year, of course I'm going to feel like I'm entitled to pull up. Because why else would you waste time with somebody 5, almost 6 months, and you're not going nowhere in a relationship? So yeah, like, I can't falter for that. Especially if you've been going on trips, you flying out together. And I'm quite sure you was flying out just to not only just to see the scenery, but you was trying to see some unexplored caves doing that. So I'm quite sure smashing it.
Trying to see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind is what you was trying to see.
He said, I mean, if you can bump up against my walls, I can pull up now and again. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Dudes are embarrassing. I ain't even gonna say it's husbands. Like, dudes are embarrassing.
Like, because the thing that you all kind of universally pointed out was she had an understanding or an expectation, at least, that they were exclusive, that they were a they. It's the only time that counts. Anyway, that they were a they. They, and the problem
even
is
on
that,
the point of the side chick, if he was into a poly relationship and wanted that they to become a we, y'all should have had that conversation in day one. Not 5, 6 months in and you seeing the other chick and you finding out, oh shoot, it ain't a double life.
saying.
You just ain't had your eggs lined up right.
by now you should clearly know what time it is, right? You know what it is. You should know what it is. And that's the problem is these cats be out here lying to these women. They be out here lying at the top of their lungs. Oh no, baby, you the only one. What? Listen.
You the only one for me. Ain't nobody else but you, baby.
Right. And for what it's worth, we ain't even addressed the fact that he was cheating on his wife.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so then that part. But because I think
That
we can
part.
all kind of universally agree that clearly that's
we
wrong.
already knew. Like,
Clearly
he's
that's
done
wrong.
for.
It's a wrap.
He's done for.
We
But
ain't
you know
even
what,
make
though?
it there.
He deserved it. He deserved to get popped up on.
That
He out
was
here
already.
stepping
We
out.
already knew that part.
Yeah, it was a given. There was no need for us to even address that elephant in the room.
But I'm just saying,
Bro
like,
out here
there's
spending
so
money on someone that's not his wife.
there's so much going on that we didn't even get to the fact that he cheated on his wife. Like, that's how.
I mean,
that's how wild that is. Like,
it's layered.
There's so many levels of wrong. We can only address the surface at this time.
Here's a question.
Baby, I like it
What-
wrong.
What was he doing that made her think it like they were in the courting phase for real? Like
He
you
was
know what I'm
fine. He
saying?
was
Like-
flying her out.
Yeah, I guess so. They went out of state, out of the country or
She
whatever.
got flued out. That's the courting. She got flued out.
This is why you don't.
Listen, city girls ain't passing up no trips.
Yeah, man. But city boys, that's a fumble. All right,
Eric.
right. We was just listen.
We was up 10.
We was up. Okay, and then massive amounts of turnovers over here, and now they right back up, yo. They right back up again. All right, come on, man, fellas. We got to keep the game. We got to keep the game intact, yo. Okay, we ain't got much time left. The game almost over. Ridiculous. All right. That said, maybe we should talk about getting back to our purpose and how we should and shouldn't be acting. Because
My good sisters know what's up. And once more, and again, it's tax season, so hit up my sis Nikki if you need your taxes done. I'll find a number. I got it. Go ahead, do your thing. Get your taxes done, though.
Get your taxes done. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to that old forgotten art. Boy, I need a drink after that.
For me, I highlight those two words, nourish and cherish, because I think that the context is that this is about how a husband should take care of his bride, just as Christ takes care of the church. Christ nourishes and cherishes. The husband nourishes and cherishes his own body, and so he should do this for his bride, as he treats her like his own body. So I'm to nourish and cherish. Now, I try to remind myself of these words, and I encourage husbands to do the same. To learn and study Ephesians, ignoring the part about what your wife's supposed to do, and focusing on the part about what we're supposed to do. Because I can't be the evaluator of her. It's hers unto the Lord. I'm not her evaluator. I'm not her boss like that. I have an authority in the marriage, but I'm not the boss. But I do make decisions, but my decisions are therefore then to bless my wife and provide safety and godliness in the home. Here's another word that comes up, and it's the word bitter. And I want to look at it because it applies to husbands. Colossians chapter 3, after in verse 18, telling the wives to submit to their own husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Then in verse 19, he says, husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter toward them. Now that is really a strange to me thing to say. Of all that God could tell us in this passage, he has one word for husbands, to love their wives and then not to be bitter toward them. That word bitter, it doesn't mean bitterness in the typical sense you might think of when I'm holding a grudge, although obviously we're not to hold grudges. We're told not to hold grudges. But it means to not be harsh. This bitterness is more of like a flavor that comes across as I speak, as with my glances, with my hand motions or whatever it is I'm doing, to have a harsh or sharp-edged demeanor toward my spouse. You're trying to read minds, and what we do is we read our fears and our insecurities into the minds of our spouse, and then we respond to them with harshness, with bitterness, with a defensive behavior like a porcupine shooting those quills out. The opposite of that bitterness is what Proverbs 19:22 says. It says, what is desired in a man is kindness. And I never forget that when I read that verse as a young boy, and I thought about my stepdad, who was not very kind. And I thought, in one word, what I wish this guy had was just kindness. I didn't care if he told me what to do. I just wish he had kindness. I wish it was flavored with some kindness, you know. And I think that as guys, we can sometimes get this like on the job mentality where we're harsh and we're like, nah, matter of fact, and we forget to flavor it with kindness. But you learn this over time. Guys, we get our edges worn down, you know, over time. And we learn that what is desired in a man is kindness. And what is desired from my bride to me is that I just be kind, a gentleness, and to take whatever I'm doing and I add some gentleness to it, some kindness to it, you know. Whatever I need to say, if I need to confront, or add some kindness to it, add some understanding, add something there that would take away that bitterness, that harshness.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Again, actually, I want to know backstage is wilder than on stage, but you got shots in the air. All right, here we go. No. This is the time to pour your drink. Find the lens of your camera, tap my screen, boom. There I am, you know. And from when I get this close, that means my fingers are in you.
Pause.
Oh God.
No-Homo?
All hetero.
Pause.
Yep. It's after 10 o'clock, y'all. It's after 10 o'clock. Yeah. Yep. This is what happens.
Oh, this is the first time something actually came through my nose. Oh.
Won't be the last.
Please.
What is going on? What the fuck is going on?
That's the most unpleasant feeling.
Oh,
good grief.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Insert cancellation here.
Okay. What the fuck were we just talking about?
Somebody stepped out, I think.
No, yeah. That's it. Okay, we back. Okay, so what had happened was basically we're gonna tie these both in. This what we just heard and the topic before that, because that guy was already out of order, clearly with the cheating, clearly with having a whole separate relationship. Like all of that is violation of just a simple, you know, you love your wife as you love yourself. Just on that alone. Most of us are not okay with our wives just going out, you know, sleeping with people all willy-nilly, having cats all entering her club, her exclusive VIP section, all willy-nilly, right? So on that alone, he's off. Go ahead, Kev.
I'm with the part that stuck out to me was the harshness. And I'm looking at this a little differently, and it's I think it has everything to do with how you interpret things. Because you know, I think about like how conversations go. So when women have conversations with men about issues that they have, we're going to approach that conversation, unless you tell us otherwise, we're going to approach it as like, now I have to be a solver of your problem. So I'm listening to you, but I'm listening to you to help you solve your problem. Whereas you may want me to be listening to you to empathize with whatever's taking place with you. So you're hoping for an emotional response from me while I'm trying to give you logic because you told me there's a problem. So now we got to solve it. So when I look at like bitterness, if us as men are solution oriented. If I'm saying something to you in regards to like what's taking place in our relationship, I'm speaking to you assuming I'm not cussing at you, screaming at you, you know what I'm saying, something like that. If I'm telling you something, I'm telling it to you because it's negatively affecting the way that we move, and I like want to see us go in a healthy direction. So like if you take criticism in the relationship to heart, it's going to seem harsh, even though it's the right thing to say to you. Like if you're just not the type that likes to be corrected, but there's always supposed to be room for growth, I should have a place to tell you this is not the best version of you. Have you considered this? Why are you not doing this? I think you could be clearer on this. Like I'm trying to guide you in the right direction, but you're taking that as harshness. That's where there can be a lot of issue in relationship because, again, our direction is from God. So I'm not coming to you in an ungodly way, but you have to receive it in a godly way to feel where I'm coming from.
So let's stay there for a second because with this bitterness, meaning harsh or even just bitterness as in a flavor, right? We're supposed to season our speech with salt, right? So when it says we're not supposed to, be bitter, towards our wives, right? I take that as also just being mindful of what we present. So then we're seasoning that bitterness, right, to get that bitterness out of there, so that we communicate, effectively. And although it can still be the truth, at least I believe we got to know how our partners receive information, and be able to deliver that in an effective manner, still being the truth, but again, knowing how they receive information. And that's kind of what I took from that whole that bitterness, right? Not being harsh, but just knowing how she receives information and being able to deliver that message, so that she understands. Not saying that you can't say what you need to say. It's just, again, knowing how to communicate that effectively, deliver that message. And then we can't control how people receive information, because they still could at the end of the day be defensive because they just have walls up. So that just is what it is at that point. That just is what it is at that point.
Let's stay there real quick though. So I like how we're building this. So last week we went over the how it's important to not just feel feelings of love, but to walk in love, right? So in the same way, taking out that root of bitterness, talking to when speaking to our wives, um, that one that's overall effective communication, right? So it helps you be able to communicate effectively with anybody if you can speak well with your wife. But you most importantly, that's your other half, like we talked about last week. That's you, right? That's you, right? Um, and you need to treat her as such, right? You respect her and love her and be gentle with her in that way, as again, like in the video was saying, and in the Bible, as they are the weaker vessel. Like you protect them, and that means not just physically, shelter in place type stuff or anything like that, but that means you protect her emotionally, right? Women are very emotional. And that's not a bad thing. God gave them that gift for a reason, right? I think honestly to kind of settle us down, because we're stimulus response and there's stimulus pause. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's actually a compliment that they have to us, right? Is that being emotional? But again, we have to treat that as the gift that it is. And I can say personally, that's something that I've been actively working on and putting, that video together. That spoke to me personally, right? I'm a very direct person. Y'all know this, and anybody that knows me personally knows this. I'm a very straightforward and direct person. Um, and sometimes that can be taken the wrong way. In fact, oftentimes that can be taken the wrong way. And so when I'm dealing with Savannah, when I'm dealing with my wife, I can't come at her as direct as I may feel. And so one of the things that I do is I take a second, I pause, right? I'm teaching myself to stop, right? And you know, consider how she's hearing what I'm saying, right? And that takes a lot to kind of step away from yourself and consider how the other person is hearing what you're saying, right? So that's something I'm personally working on. But you have to do that with your wife, otherwise you guys can't really effectively communicate. And then when you stop communicating, that's what leads you to seek outside attention or outside whatever that you weren't getting in the house, right? All right, go ahead.
No, so this actually isn't for you. It's for Randy. But I'm gonna ask it to him, but I'm posing it to you all. My question to his statement, I'm posing it to you all just to pick your brains. He says, so like read the entire context, but the last part, if you're just trying to fight, we're not gonna accomplish anything. My question is, what if you're not trying to fight, but because the person doesn't receive what you're trying to say well, they turn it into a fight. So like regardless of the nature of your approach, like I came to you, and I used we statements instead of you statements. So like, or ask yourself to put yourself in my shoes and how would you respond? Like if I did this in the best way, again, shout out to God in therapy. Like if I used all my tactics and brought that to you, then what, like, and you still turn that into a fight, what then? Like, what then? Like, I tried everything the right way, but you're still just not receiving it. So it turns into something other than what it is. What are you left to do at that point?
That is a great question. That's a great question. Q, you've been kind of quiet. What's your thought? What do you think about that? And you tried everything you can while we get ready for this therapy shot.
I don't know. Like everybody's situation can be a little bit different. I know my scenario with that situation was kind of weird. It wasn't that she wanted to reach some kind of resolution in our relationship. It's just that she wanted to see that I'm putting forth some kind of fight and wanted to hear that vocalized. It's not a matter of trying to make everything work or trying to be clear with communication. She wants to see and hear that you're actually fighting. So if I was silent, everybody knows I'm kind of like a passive aggressive type of guy. I try to avoid conflict. So if you're yelling at me, I'm going to be quiet. I'll let you get out what you're going to say, but you're not getting any kind of rah-rah out of me. Like, nah, that just ain't me. But from that point, that's what she wanted. She wanted to see me get out like that and wild out to show that I really care about the relationship. Trey, you're muted.
Trey, you're muted.
That's fine. We gotta take one anyway. It don't matter. It don't matter. We gotta take one anyway because he said the magic word. So.
How is my relationship with myself, and what can I do to improve it?
That ties right in.
I was actually.
It ties right in.
I was actually about to comment on one of the things that the guy said right in the video, where we are to treat our wives as ourselves, and it's like, well, dang, well, how do I treat myself? How was I taught? Do I go to the doctor regularly, the dentist regularly? Do I eat healthy? Do I eat the right things? How am I really treating myself? And then if I'm to treat, my partner as I am myself, then what does that really look like? you know, and are men being taught, these things, like how to take care of yourself, how to go to the doctor, how to go to the dentist, how to groom yourself properly, how to, do all these things, and then to treat your wife as yourself. I mean, I know for me personally, right? I believe that I treat my family as a whole better, right, than I do myself. Better than I do myself. And it's something that I'm still working on, because I know that if I don't take care of myself, then how am I supposed to be here in order to provide and protect for them and be here for them, but I think once they saw that insurance policy, they're like, oh, well, we'll cover it either way.
Be good. We'll be good.
But really, it's like I definitely see that I got a whole lot of improvements to do on taking care of myself physically, mentally, and spiritually. And so I'm working towards those things. I have not gotten a therapist yet, but I am working towards that. But I have made improvements in my health, and physically, of course, working out, football, getting back into football and stuff. So yeah, it's like, those three major things for me in anyway. You definitely got to take care of yourself so that you can be there to take care of your family, your wife, your family, your kids.
Yep. Agreed. Kev, can you read the card one more time?
How is my relationship with myself, and what can I do to improve it?
Great question. I love me some me. Nah. But I do, but I think still that I'm better with, I'm better because of her. I'm better with her. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that, you know, as good as I could possibly be, I can do better with her. You know what I'm saying? So, and more importantly even than that is, um, as good as we can do better with God. You know what I mean? So as long as we're in alignment, right? As long as we're in alignment and stay in alignment, that's good. So what I do for me, this is part of what I do for me. These are outlets, you know what I mean? Outlets like this, where I enjoy talking to y'all. I enjoy talking to the people, looking through some of these, these different topics. I'm looking forward to seeing what Randy just posted. He posted some great stuff here. I was reading it. I'm looking forward to getting into that. This is an outlet, for me. So, and my wife is very much involved in that. I'm very much involved in her outlets. Like, we are doing this together. So to tie all of this in, um, you know, when we need to move in a particular way, or I see something happen in a certain way, I have learned, or am learning still, but I've learned to present it differently. Like you said, it's not about a we, and it's not about a you're doing this wrong. It's about a this is what I noticed, and this is what I saw from my perspective. But I'm willing to hear what you think about this. What do you think about this? This is what I saw. What do you think? What did you see? What's actually happening? And so having that conversation, understanding that sometimes your eyes play tricks on you. You know what I'm saying?
It's not you, it's Randy.
Hey, yo.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
Oh,
I see what you did there.
We gonna definitely have Randy on, man. That episode is gonna be no good. I can tell y'all that right now.
But I mean, Trey, you were speaking facts. And I like, there's a lot that we've got to do for ourselves to be in good spaces. So like when I think about this question, like I think my relationship with myself is like beautifully delusional, or just like conflicted, and I can keep it a stack with myself. Like my relationship with myself is like my relationship with God. Like I got a ton of questions, and I be mad confused because like, and so recently what it's been for me has been about forgiveness. Like I got some stuff that bothers me, and like I want to like speak to it, but like I realize speaking to it creates conflict, or like will create conflict. And then I read, and everything I'm reading recently has been about forgiveness, and it's just like what you mad at that for? Like don't hold that, don't hold on to that, go past that. Like it's not that deep. And so like I'm trying to let stuff go, but it doesn't sit well with me. So like that's why I say my relationship with myself is like God, because some things about me like I know better, but I also know that there's not a greater peace that exists unless I do some things that compromise the things I know that I need for me. Um, and that's a hard place to be. Like I could speak on literally everything, and it's gonna clear my chest because I got to speak on it. However, I know that every ramification is still going to create a tension that doesn't go away from me, and you just like you try to cope. So could my relationship with myself be pure? Yes. But does the purity of that relationship create more peace? And I don't know if that's an actual answer.
I would say one thing that kind of triggered that thought is that it's just similar to your relationship with God. And so what I would say is, forgive you in the same way that God would forgive you. When you're honestly apologetic and honestly repentant, God will forgive you every time. You know what I mean? If it's lip service, you already know, right? But and that's the same thing with you. Like when you're lying to you. Let's be real. You know when you're
Yep.
lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you are, not saying you, whoever you are. So you got to be willing to also forgive yourself, and that's where again, we always say God, shout out to God in therapy, but that's why because it's this, they go hand in hand. You need to be able to have an outlet to, speak on it and say what you got to say, get it off your chest. Those feelings are legitimate. You know what I'm saying? They're real, right? But after that, then what? That's really the question. Is after that, after this is off my chest, now what? Well, now we got to find some way to move forward because tomorrow's still coming.
All right.
Assuming tomorrow's still coming. You know what I'm saying? Way things are going, right? But assuming
Everything's
tomorrow's
been
still coming,
questioned.
tomorrow's still coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I think that's important too, man. Like to never forget that. Again, for anybody who's feeling like that, is never forget that. Like God again, he's a forgiving God. Like in the same way you would forgive your kids if they no matter what they did, if they came to you legitimately and were like, I'm sorry, Dad. Like who among us would say, you still suck, kid? Like you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, might think it a little bit,
I might know someone.
Good grief. Good
I'm
grief.
joking. I'm joking.
Good grief.
All right.
Good grief. All right. Who among us? Who among us? Who among us? Right. Because I know a few too. I know a few too who, don't matter. And that's a whole other conversation right there, But, again, this all goes back to what we see. One of y'all pointed this out earlier. It all goes back to what we see in the house, right? There was a tweet that went out or a post that went out and saying, how are men growing up not respecting women? Well, there's a variety of reasons. There is truly a variety of reasons. And I would probably say that it starts with we've all, let's be real, we've all turned so far away from, you know, right. We've all turned so far away from God that we're all trying to figure this out on our own. And now we're all leaning all to our own understanding. And here's what our own understanding is taking us.
Into the multiverse.
You know? Doctor Strange.
Where everyone's living in their own truth, their own universe.
You know? And in this very same universe, in this self-same universe, you get fined for saying no homo. In this self-same universe, you get arrested for misgendering somebody. That's a real thing in California. Look it up. In this self-same universe, you get fired for not
being faithful,
for not cheating, for not taking the advances.
Cold world. Cold world.
All I'll say, last thing I'll say on this is, you know, the Bible does tell of a time where people would think that bad is good and good is bad. That, you know, evil is good and good is evil, right? Things will just kind of become topsy-turvy, you know? Just saying. Men are women and women are men. All right.
Completely non-related. The All-Star, they just made an adjustment to the draft in that the reserves will be picked before the starters.
Interesting.
It came through as a notification for me, so it's important.
Oh, fair enough.
This is because this is actually going to be the first year where they draft live, like right before the game. They usually draft a week before, and like players have a chance to adjust. They're going to draft on this, like on the spot, like a true pickup game, and go from there. But they're going to start with the reserves. NBA gets it right every year.
Every year in All-Star Weekend, man, they do their thing. So anyway, that's it. Let me jump back real quick to Randy's response to your question. Because he said a few things here. I'm sorry, hold on. Let's go to this one right here. Here we go. All right. Often the big issue is that people have a tendency to be honest or keep it real, but remove all essence of kindness from their words. That's a very good point right there, right? You know, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. Excuse me. That's a lesson that my father taught me a long, long time ago. He told me a long time ago that, you know, I'm still kind of learning to be totally honest, right? It's not always about what you say. It is about how you say it. Sometimes we as men can be too direct. I certainly can. I'll admit to that. I can be too direct sometimes, you know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. God ain't done working on me. But that's important. So what do you do? Right? He go to steps here. He said, step 1, take a break in the convo. Very important. Step 2, when we reconvene, we need to reestablish a goal. Are we trading pettiness or do we have a real issue? What's your thought on that so far, Kev?
He preaching better than we saying amen.
No.
Facts. Let's move on to step 3. You say, step 3, I can't respond to you the way you're responding to me because I don't want to match your energy. Again, we need to reestablish what this conversation is about. What I love about that is that in no way dismisses the conversation, which is childish. Right? It's childish to just walk away from the conversation. Oh, okay, I'm just not going to talk about it. I think that's childish, right? If we're going to move forward, we have a goal here in this conversation, right? We need to reestablish and reset why we're even having this conversation in the first place. It ain't about just, oh, I don't like how this sounded. I don't like how this feels. I'm leaving. Because that doesn't accomplish anything. the issue is still on the table. You just walked away from the table. That's my thought. Gotta
No
call out
lies
the
were told.
problem too. My bad. Go ahead, Q.
No, I was saying no lies were told in what you just said, bro. No lies.
Word. Cool. All right. Gotta cut out the problem too, or call out the problem too. If both parties aren't actually trying to accomplish something, we're wasting our breath. Period. You know what I'm saying? And so again, there it is. Like there has to be. We gotta act like grown-ups, man. We gotta be grown. People all in their doggone feelings, man. Let's talk. Let's just talk. Okay. And I think we can kind of establish some things if we just move forward in that way. Let's talk about it. You okay? You don't like how this sounds? Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to convey to you, right? But also understanding that some people are people that are just more direct. Some people are more direct than others, right? Like, you know, Kev, at certain points, you're more direct than I am, and at other points, I'm more direct than you. It just kind of depends on what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, Rich. You know, you and I, same thing. Q, you and I, same thing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is what it is. So with your significant other, you have to be able to understand what you married. You gotta know. I love that. My wife says this all the time. I know what I married. I love it because I know what I married too. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's move on, man. We're about to get out of here. Rapid fire time. Let's do it, dog.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna try to get through this. Y'all see the timer right there. We're gonna try to get through this ASAP. So try. So here we go. First topic on the docket.
Man, I was flooded with millions of dollars from the time I was 16 all the way to this point in my life. And I woke up one morning and I was like, damn, they got me. Man, look at the shit I spoke about. Look at the shit I put in these people's ears. Man, I feel very wrong about a lot of things. How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music. How many kids and people have gotten in the car or put this shit in their ears and actually went hurt someone. And now I'm sitting back like, damn, I can't do it all in one day. But I promise to clean whatever I can clean. But it's gonna take time, man.
Man, all right, that's heavy. Okay, what's your thoughts, man? What y'all think, fellas? Uh-oh, Kev, you muted.
Oh, Kev, you muted. Come on, Kev, you.
A gang of rappers.
We almost made it.
Yeah, almost. A gang of rappers put out a gang of product with no real like connection to what this actually means for communities. NBA young boy, I hear his name too often.
I don't know too many songs by him personally. But he's not the first one to come out and say something like that. You know, he went back and did an evaluation of what kind of music and imagery and so on that he was putting out here, and you know, it was all for for the bag, for the almighty dollar, right? You know, one thing he said that stood out to me was, I've been having millions of dollars shoved in my face since I was 16 years old. Now, dog. Now listen. All right. We grew up broke, but not to the level of some other people, okay? Can you imagine having grown up the way some of these people have, and then suddenly somebody is saying, hey, here's millions of dollars, and all you have to do is rap about this, dress this way, sing about that, put this outfit on, put these horns on, whatever. that's crazy. And then of course the family gets involved in that. It's all crazy, man. So for the sake of time, I'll say shout out to him for realizing that. Now we'll see what he does with that information. We'll see if he really steps away or if he continues to, push what he's been talking about. Guess we'll see.
Did my shot go up too early?
No, I took my lead.
Okay. I'm just making sure because I'm empty. But this is a good point.
Hey, we'll get ready for this next one because you waited for it all night. You talked about it all night long. Ha. Pause. Here we go. Let's take a look at this.
Google fired an employee for not being inclusive enough. It's a weird reason to be fired if you work for Google. After he rejected a female coworker's sexual advances, and now he is suing Google, rightfully so. Essentially, the story goes that Ryan Olahan, that's his name, he's 48 years old. He was out enjoying some drinks with coworkers at Fig and Olive. Just a little sidebar here. Great chicken at Fig and Olive in New York City. That's where he was. And someone who was an executive at Google, one of his top executives, her name is Tiffany Miller, and she happens to be Asian. She groped him at this restaurant, and she told him she had been drinking. Allegedly, she was drunk. She told him that she knew that he liked Asian women, and she's correct. He does like Asian women. He's married to an Asian woman, and he shut down her advances. He wasn't into it, and she told him that her marriage lacked spice.
It's so much
to unpack there. Oh boy. So anyway, he had a coworker that wanted to love him long time, and is that bad? Is that bad? Is that as bad as No-Homo?
Real. At this point, yeah, terrible. Terrible.
Oh, well.
You already said it.
I'm great. I'm great and terrible. So.
She wanted to love him long.
Wow.
Is it such a crime?
I'm saying. I'm okay. All right. What y'all think, man?
So he got fired because she was in a position of power. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing?
She's been making advances like this before and had been reported before, and nothing happened. Apparently she pulled up on him at an off-site dinner, rubbing his stomach, telling him he had, quote, such a nice body, and that her marriage, quote, lacked spice. This is according to the lawsuit. So he got fired because he was like, nah, I want to be with my wife, just my wife, not you, just my wife. He got fired.
I just feel like there's something missing.
The math is not mathing.
Yeah.
This is the world we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Assuming nothing's changed in the last hour and 42 minutes, and I can still call you that.
And we can still call.
Well, I don't know.
Yep. There you have it. There you have it, yo. That is that. It's ridiculous. I got nothing. Kev, All-Star Weekend.
I get it.
Last thing. Talk to us, man. What's your thoughts? What you feeling?
The NBA gets it right every year. So All Star Weekend has been fire so far. Tonight was the Celebrity All Star Game, and Richard Jefferson. I want to shout out to him because he went from commentator to referee to special like guest player all in one night. So shout out to Richard Jefferson. But in general, the NBA gets it right every year. All the festivities are going to be dope, except for the dunk contest. So whenever that's happening, just go ahead and skip that shit. But All Star Weekend is going to be dope. And also this weekend, because it's happening, shout out to Morgan State's magnificent marching machine, who will be
Yeah.
pushing Honda's Battle of the Bands.
That's right.
Hardly home, but always repping. Always repping. Go Morgan State. What up?
That's right. That's right. That's what it is, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. All-Star Weekend. Looking forward to it. Who's even in the dunk contest? What's going on with that?
Man, it's a bunch of dudes you don't know. Kenyon Martin Jr. and Matt McClung of the Los Angeles Lakers. Kenyon plays for the Houston Rockets. Those are the two names that I really know, but all of them are average dunkers. Kenyon Martin is a super jumper, but I've never seen him really dunk like that. So it's gonna be a group of amateurs at best, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, it'll be fun and entertaining anyway, I would assume. I hope.
We're gonna hope, but I think it'll be the weakest of all the weekend festivities. Enjoy the 3-point contest. Enjoy the actual game, the dunk contest, though.
Well, hopefully you're wrong. I'm hoping you're wrong because I'm gonna watch it.
Great. But on the whole, this weekend's going to be great. Pause. Big
yeah,
pause.
word it is. Yeah, it's date weekend. Date weekend. Yeah, we going out on the town. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking forward to this one. Been a long time coming. So, pause. All right. Okay. All right. We're not doing any more, man. That's it. That's it. We done, yo. Final thought. Final thoughts, fellas, man. Rich, Q, take us out, man. What's going on?
Final thoughts once again. I just want to say thank you guys for always tuning in. It's always a pleasure cutting up with y'all every week. As we said, this is our moment. This is our medicine through the week. So shout out for y'all for hanging with our craziness and our debauchery. Love you guys. And let's continue this shit next week, man. Love y'all.
Yeah. Hey, as a Morgan Band alumni, M3, shout out to y'all again for getting in the Honda Battle of the Bands. It's definitely surreal because when I was in the band, man, we was ready to take over the entire world. So shout out to you guys. Great job. And everybody, thanks for joining us. We love y'all. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. And like I said in the beginning, live in abundance. Live in abundance in your mind, your body, spirit, all of that. Just manifest that. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, my spirits have enjoyed all of the spirits. So I hope y'all had a good time with us tonight. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I know my speech is blurred, but the love is real. So salute, shout out to you all. Just hit the like, subscribe button on YouTube. If all the fake accounts you got, even if you got an account for your things, just hit that like and subscribe button because we can always use it. We're heading into the Easter season, so adult Easter egg hunts are the way to go. I know this is totally random. However, y'all know I talk to them. Put little shots inside of your Easter eggs and invite the adults to come search it out. It's an early plan. Get it together. Peace out, y'all.
Thanks again, as everybody said. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for being the best part of everything that we do here at Up2it Down2it. Tune in next week, man. We got 2 more episodes to go. Then we're going to take a much-needed break so we can just kind of relax for a second. But these next 2 weeks are not going to be played with, okay? You ain't going to want to play around with these weeks, all right? I'm telling you something. Next couple episodes are going to be wild. We're going to be talking about all kind of stuff. So, and then even with those plans, things still change. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the only constant in life is change. So be prepared. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Keep your family close. Keep your God first. And let's go ahead and have some fun the rest of this year, man. Know what I mean? Have some fun the rest of this year. What y'all think about that, dog? Yeah.
I got the crown on my head and it's cause I deserve it.
I love the dance move right there.
That's king talk, that's king talk.
Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We are out of here, man. Don't forget to check us out again next week. 9 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel. We out.
Already know what it is.